Today's video, we're going to talk about Microsoft Bing ads and how you can triple, yes, triple the profit and ROI that you're getting from your account by doing a couple small changes to get rid of all the nasty bots and or competitors clicking your damn ads and driving your ROI into the gutter. So yes, this is a bigger problem that most people realize. In general, people don't even recognize this if we're running ads on Google as well. They think if their ad performance is down or whatever, you know, it's on the ad platform doesn't work, something's changed, whatever, and a very high percentage of the time, if something's drastically changed or your ads are not working in the beginning, assuming you follow all the fundamentals that I share with you on this channel, it comes down to bots. There's generally a bigger problem with bots and or competitors clicking your ads in markets where the average cost per click is higher, given competitors can do click fraud, as it's called in the industry, way easier to you. And on the audience network that Bing forces you to get on, they want to do it to you more there because they get paid a higher amount if their website is about in a niche where they get a higher cost per click, because advertisers usually pay more to get on those websites. For example, mesothelioma, which is a lung disease that you normally get through like asbestos and stuff, costs $50 a click in that market, and people make websites about that. Well, if you're doing that, your ad gets up on that website, and those people doing that a lot of times are doing click fraud to get more advertising money, and that ends up coming out of your pocket. So for several reasons, if you're in a market where the cost per click is higher, we're talking about anything above $5 a click even, click fraud and competitors clicking on your ads is a big problem. Competitor-wise, normally what you'll see in about 20 to 30% of markets nowadays is you're a new advertiser, they come in and try to click on your ads to discourage you. It's a psyop to get you to just say, Bing ads doesn't work, oh, I quit. So before you know it works, they can get rid of you, and they only had to do it to you for a couple months because you gave up. Before you knew it worked, you were saying, does it work, does it work, does it work? And then, they got rid of you by tricking you, screwing with you initially, and then they don't have a long-term competitor that's going to drive up their cost per click, because the more people advertising on your keywords in your market, the higher the cost per click goes, because it's naturally a bidding system. So anyway, with all that said, there's a couple main things here to get rid of most, if not all, the bots and the competitors clicking your ads. That once you do that, that's why you're going to make triple the money on the ad platform once it's done, because it's a big problem on the search ads, but on the audience network, it's an even bigger problem. That's where 2/3 of this is going to come from, by getting rid of the audience network clicks that you basically just don't want, and that are full of bots clicking those ads, because there's nobody that legitimately goes to a lot of these websites that Bing puts you on the so-called audience network. I have a list of 12,000 plus websites that are on Bing's audience network that you can add those as exclusions, and you can get them from my firm. You just have to reach out to me after this video. I'll give them to you. And once you add them, you'll have those bot clicks coming from the audience network clicks itself. So anyway, I'll explain all this on this particular video in detail so you can triple the performance of your ads. Many people don't think about click fraud on Microsoft Bing ads, as the numbers are so small as compared to what they're spending through Google. Of course you could be spending a lot on Bing. Maybe you're spending $300 a day on Bing. If you're spending, $1,000 a day on Google or something like that. So it could be substantial, but it's obviously generally much lower spend on Microsoft / Bing than it is on Google, because normally people don't usually, they'll run both. Which, by the way, Bing actually has a better return on average. So if you don't have a big budget and you're in a fairly large market, you just have the ability to skim off the top of the market, the most profitable stuff. Starting out on Bing is great, particularly also if you need to have it work quicker. work quick so that you don't run out of money and can't get to the next stage with it, if you will, because you ran out of money. So, but most people are doing both, and then they're focused mainly on optimizing Google, and then Bing, it would work. You can scale it more, and it would work a hell of a lot better, tripling the money you could make with it if you just knew these two things and actually focused on it versus focusing 100% of your efforts to optimize on and through Google. To put this in perspective for you, Bing or Microsoft Bing ads should be 20% of your Google budget, right? So if you're spending $1,000 a day on Google, $200 a day should be Bing budget, but be 30% of your total sales that is coming in through Google and Bing combined, if you will. Why is that? Because Bing normally gets a much better conversion rate, has a much higher average deal size because the traffic is more affluent overall as compared to Google. And so that's why you don't want to neglect or not do it or think, oh shit, it doesn't work very well, or does it work very well? It damn well works great. And if you think that Google is working and Bing doesn't, you got a screw loose basically, because Bing always will work better than Google 99.9% of the time. So that is if you just know how to set it up. And it's most people think that whatever you do on Google will work on Bing. It's a one-to-one match, and for the most part it is, but there's some key things you still want to do that's different, namely with the keyword matching and then the audience network stuff, which I'll get into here. So if you want to block all put down here. If you want to block all bots from your ad campaigns on Bing to get the extra 3x of results from your Bing ads, and so you can actually afford to spend 20% of what you're spending on Google, and then get an extra, quite a bit of extra sales out of it in general because you're maximizing it now. You want to first start out by using ClickCease, which is an anti-click fraud software that'll get rid of bots as well as people that are your competitors clicking on your ads. But the problem with ClickCease, if you do use it now or are familiar with it, is ClickCease blocks these bot clicks on Google automatically because they have a direct line in, so you can integrate your Google Ads account with your ClickCease account, and it blocks all the bots and the competitor clicking on your ads automatically. Whereas with Microsoft Bing ads, it's not automatic. You still have to manually go in and do it, which is why it's easier to get effed with on Bing technically, because it's not so turnkey to block the bots / competitors clicking on your ads. And also why most people don't do it, because it takes direct action. But realistically, this is what the virtual assistants are for. Most people, I still to this day don't understand why more businesses don't use offshore virtual assistants to do stuff like this, because it's so cheap and the impact is so large to not do stuff like this that you're just basically, it's free money. You work hard to do everything else in your business to deliver your products or services, and then you don't want to put in a little bit of extra effort to set up a VA, which it'll take you an hour to set up a plan for a VA, and then they can do it and you have to pay them so little over time. You're not making the best use of your time, basically. We'll just say, and you're not making nearly what you could per unit of time you are putting in on your business. So basically, you set up ClickCease though, and then the problem or potential IP addresses that look like they're a problem, you add those IP addresses manually to your IP exclusion list on your Microsoft Ads account, Microsoft Bing Ads account. And then those IPs are blocked. If you want to be extra thorough, I would just simply recommend every single IP that pops up on the ClickCease account, I would add to the exclusion list. Or at least would try it. So you could start with the IPs that look like, to ClickCease that are recommending look like they are fraudulent, and add those. And if you're not satisfied with the return, or you want to see if you can get an even better return, just take every single IP and get it added to the Microsoft IP exclusion list automatically. Because in a lot of markets, we found the best results simply by every single IP address is added as an exclusion so that nobody can click our ad more than once. And in certain markets, you can't get away with that necessarily because people need to come back to your site several times to be sure that they're going to buy. But in a lot of other markets, we can get away with it, and technically would make sure that all of the bots would be eliminated because we're just simply not letting a bot come back once they've clicked on our ad once. And such as like in the flooding or water damage removal / restoration space, like if your basement floods and you need somebody to come pump the water out, in that space you're only going to click and call or not. You're not going to think about it and then come back to the site. So in that market, to be sure we're getting rid of all the bots, all the competitors, we'll just, every IP that clicks on the ad, it's not allowed to see the ad again. Versus in other markets, such as when we're selling a bedding or a bed, then we got to be only adding these suspicious IP addresses because people need to come back to the site more than once, which is not a real good example, at least for the purposes of explaining who needs this or the most, in that most of the click fraud issues, when you have that issue, or bots, like I said, is in markets where the cost per click is higher, and when you're selling a mattress, generally the cost per click is around $5, so just keep that in mind. But even if ultimately your cost per click is even close to $5, I would just automatically use ClickSeize because you're going to block. Even if there's not competitors clicking on your ads, there's going to be bots, and it actually will save you some money over time. In fact, also ClickSeize tells you how to get a refund for the bot clicks you did get, and you can set that up and submit through Google's form for a refund on clicks that look like, that were identified as suspicious from ClickSeize, and get your money back. I can get a percentage of your ad spend back on an ongoing basis that way. So I would recommend that as well. So in summary, you want to use ClickSeize on Google and on Bing. I know this isn't a video about Google, but you do them both. And it's just as important to do it on Bing as it is on Google. Then get yourself, like I do, a screen recording software. Record using ClickSeize how to get the IP addresses that are either suspicious or in general, like I was saying before, and then show them how to add those IP addresses to the IP exclusion list on your Microsoft Bing Ads account. And once you record the screen to show your VA how to do it once, of course they can do it for yourself at least once per week. If you wanted to do once per day, that would be the best, but once per week is pretty sufficient to get most of these bots and or competitors that are trying to click your ads to get that weeded out of the system on your campaigns, so to say. So that's going to help you. But the much bigger issue is with these audience network clicks. I want to challenge you to do one thing right now. If you're running ads on Bing or have in the past, go down, open up your campaigns menu, which shows all your campaigns on Microsoft Bing, and go to the very bottom where it says like summary, search campaigns. There'll be at the totals at the bottom of the campaign menu. It'll say audience network. See how many clicks you're getting from the audience network. Whatever percentage of your clicks are going to the audience network is basically how much clicks that you pay for that you would have had more fun taking that money and burning it than spending it on that damn audience network clicks. So not to say you can't get sales from that. For the most part, it's BS. And the sales you do get from it, it's probably somebody who's already been to your site already, and they would have bought in anyway. So to make a long story short here, you want to block all possible audience network clicks you can. And with the right system, you can block 99+% of them with one simple small change to your account, and that is you get a master audience network placement exclusion list applied to your account so that you don't show up on these goofy websites like exosites.com that nobody goes to, and it's like a click farm where they're hoping you end up on a click farm where basically people are hoping you end up on that page somehow and then click one of the ads to get out of there. I've been doing this for 20 years on the internet now. Well, it's basically about as worthless as a click you obviously can get. So you naturally just don't want to buy any of the clicks from those damn stupid websites that are basically a scam, if you will. So in order to block all of them, the only way, it used to be easier, but the only way now to do it is to literally tell Microsoft Bing ads to not have your ads on these other websites that are on the audience network list. And there's thousands and thousands on that list. So it's like playing a game of whack-a-mole if you try to add a few at a time and expect to see that, because they show you what sites you show up on, and you can add those one by one as in the placement exclusions so that your ad can't show up on those websites anymore. But you'll be wasting tons of money before you even find out what the total list is. Like you're going to have to spend tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands, to get that complete list before you've eliminated so many possible sites you can end up on that you're effectively off all of them. So I've got a master list myself. They let you add up to 15,000. I've got a list of 15,000 of the most common ones. And once you add that, and you have to do it in 3 separate lists, because each list only has a maximum of 5,000 on it. But once you add all 3 of those lists as exclusions, 99% of the bot traffic is going to be gone. And so you don't have to pay, or the audience network traffic will be gone, which is effectively just bot traffic, you can effectively say, because nobody goes to these websites. So what they'll end up doing is sending a bunch of bots to click on ads on those websites to juice their numbers and how much money they're going to be able to get as a payout from Bing and ultimately from yourself. Because obviously you set up a website, you partner with Bing to say, hey, you can run ads on my website, Bing, and Bing provides a person that wants to advertise and is the middleman, so that people that want to advertise can advertise on these sites, and you don't have to know the in-person who runs the website you're on at all in order to run your ad on that website. So, but of course the website's business model is to sell shitty clicks to people, and Bing knows they're shitty clicks, but they're sneaking it in there with the rest of the search ad clicks that they already know people want, and then to mask the fact that you're spending money on something that they don't want and make a ton of money. Bing's making a ton of money juicing the system, if you will, taking something that has value and then adding a bunch of stuff that doesn't have value to it. And then, of course, the end website that's doing it is doing the same exact thing. They're trying to send maybe a little bit of quality traffic through it, but mostly shit quality traffic. And they're both in on the scheme, and you're the mark, basically. So anyway, you can get rid of all those audience network clicks by adding the 15,000 exclusions. Reach out to my firm. I'll give you the exact list. You add them, you don't have that problem anymore. These websites that you show up on, these websites send bots to those websites to click on your ads to try to get more money from Bing and from you, the advertiser itself. And you don't have those bots anymore. You're eating up 20, 30, 40, 50. I've seen where it's up to 90% of your total ad budget going to this audience network, which I don't understand why Bing would push the audience network so much to like that degree. They're getting greedy. In other words, really, really dumb people are going to allow their budget to go on and be spending what it spends forever with 90% of your ad budget going through this audience network and getting no return for you, because they just aren't paying attention to returns or tracking or anything like that and can get away with it. But for me, I would think that Bing would actually try to juice the numbers so like 20-30% of the clicks are going through this audience network, so that it doesn't throw up a red flag to people that kind of do look at the results from Bing as a whole. But that's here nor there. So just know you take my list. This list, we had to spend $100,000 to get the list. So what you're getting is $100,000 value. GuaranteedPPC.com. Reach out to me. I'll get you the list. Beyond that, as a bonus tip here, the main key thing about Bing versus Google that makes to get Bing to work well and get you to where you can spend 20% of your Google budget on it and get 30% of your total sales coming from it as per what you're spending between Google and Bing, like I was talking about before, is you want to actually run or consider running all your keywords an exact match on Bing. Run the same keywords from Google, but then only run those keywords an exact match on Microsoft Bing ads, because Bing runs a bit more wild. Now, there's a lot of markets where we can run the same match types. We can have all the keywords. If we were doing phrase match on Google, we can do phrase match on Bing. It depends. In service-based industries, it seems like only exact match will work on and through Microsoft Bing ads. Versus on e-commerce markets, phrase match will actually work fine on Microsoft Bing ads, as long as that also works on Google already with phrase match, if you get my drift here. So if you're running services, then I would highly recommend, probably, even though you're doing phrase match or broad match on Google, only do exact match on Microsoft Bing ads. If you're doing e-commerce and you're doing phrase or broad match on Google and it's working, then probably just do the same thing on Bing, using your phrase or broad match or whatever you're using there. You don't have to restrict the targeting to just exact match only in order to get a good return. So you get 30% of your sales coming through Bing on only 20% of the ad budget. So that said, I pretty much told you everything you need to do to triple your profit from Microsoft Bing ads on this video. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, usually within a couple days' time. If you have any other ad-related questions, go ahead and feel free to ask me as well through the comments. I love to try to get back to my subscribers and people who watch my videos, if it's possible. I've got 15 years of ad experience and work with dozens of clients at any given time to guarantee results for their different ad campaigns we're working on. And all the strategies we're using to get guaranteed results for our clients, I share with you on this channel. I'm the one strategizing all of our clients' accounts directly, and therefore it's the best information you're going to find on YouTube and on the web, basically, to actually make money with paid advertising online. So you should subscribe for that reason alone. I also got a blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog with similar information for myself on how to get guaranteed results on your ad campaigns. If you would like to help me out, I'd appreciate it if you can give this video a thumbs up if you think that it really helped you out, basically, which it should, obviously, if you just execute on it. As a side note, before I wrap this video up, a couple other things. So if you're short on time or just don't want to do the work to get the results or do the things I mentioned on this channel, I have myself that does the strategy, but I also have a team to help me execute on things for our clients in a quick, efficient manner that know my strategies. And with that, we can do all the work for you, and it's a no-brainer because we don't even charge fees until we get you some sales results up front that will already exceed what we charge. In other words, if we charge $4,000 a month for our service fees, we'll make sure you get at least $4,000 a month additional profit from your ad campaigns before we, get paid on our end for the services we provide. Nobody else out there actually offers anything like that, which should say a lot about the quality of services we're actually providing here and the stuff you get to hear about on this channel. Furthermore, work with just any client. You got to have a great product or service that has a lot of potential, but just has weak marketing, and that's who we like to work with. We also work with clients and we have a partnership with them, and we take whatever we can increase your overall sales revenue at the company. We'll take 1, 2, 3, 4% of the company's sales as our payment, and we'll scale you to the moon. We've done this with several companies now. Every single one where we're doing that, they're doing extremely well. All of them are doing several million more a year in sales once we've started working with them on that kind of level and capacity. So with that said, reach out to me. I'll see if we can work together, and I can get you an estimate of results either way. So we don't charge for that assessment up front. As a small side, if you are looking for results and you're in a common industry we've worked for before or worked in before, we sell campaign templates that get results in a number of different industries. I've worked in over 500 different industries now. And with that, we have the opportunity to build campaigns up in industries for several years, know what the results of those campaigns get, and if we're in an industry we worked with before, not only could we tell you the results we can get you up front, but if you're not looking for an ad agency to help you long term, we can sell you the templates that work in that industry. We charge several $1,000s for those templates, but they're proven to work without having to do much. Basically, you set them up, they run, they get the results that they're supposed to get. So if you're interested in that type of thing, reach out to us. We've had people use those templates, and just simply because they're efficient enough, like because we've run those campaigns and optimized the campaigns for that particular niche or industry for years already, they can outsource all the work to somebody else and take 10% of the revenue coming in as their cut and have a business just because you have a website and a proven campaign that works for it already. Several people have done exactly that just hopped into an industry, took our campaigns, built a website, they have a business already, and outsourced everything else. So anyway, if you're interested in that type of thing, reach out to me. I'd be happy to let you know what we have in terms of results and what industries. But I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in my next video where we have another great money-making PPC strategy for you there. See you later.